Hello everyone, this is Goddess Robots Fashion and Crafts. I'm here to teach us how to take accurate body measurement. Alright, before we go into that, I want to explain some things to us about tape rule. Probably you need more explanation or you don't even know it at all. The tape rule is marked in two metrics, both in centimeter and inches. This one that is written big in big print is inches, while the tiny figure at the back here is in centimeters. Well, you can take your measurements with any of the metrics as long as it is convenient for you. But for example now, if I measure as 30 centimeter and I want to convert it to inches, I don't need to stress myself. You just bend what you have around 30 inches here and come to this place. You have something like 11.7 inches. So that is that about the tape rule. The second thing I want to call your attention to is make sure that your tape rule is complete. We have some tape roots that maybe the beginning is already off or the thing has squeezed. It can affect your measurement from being accurate. So right now, I will invite my clients. We will take our measurement and we will see how it goes. As I will be measuring, I will try to put what I'm measuring on the screen so that you can get what I'm trying to measure. All right, let's go there. I want to welcome my clients. So I want to take the vertical measurement first. And when you hear the word vertical measurement, it's talking about the straight measurement, the straight part of the body. That is, your tape rule will be straight while you are measuring. It will not be bent like this. So the first thing I want to measure now is what is called neck depth. Neck depth, that is how low the neck is. That is how low the neck is. So assuming I am making 5 to be the neck depth, so you can see the neck depth is from here. But not something, when you are taking your measurement, the straight measurement, it's very important that you bring your tape rule very close to the collarbone here, because this is where you can get the accurate measurement. Don't bring your tape rule like this. Don't bring it like this, because it will not be complete. See what I'm measuring here. If I measure 8 inches here, if I bring it to this place, what am I having? I am having 9. And if I bring it close to this place, I already have 9.5. So this is the correct part where you need to place your tape rule. So the neck depth is 5. I proceed and I go to the nipple point. Some people call it bust point. Either nipple or bust point is still the same thing. How do you know when you reach the bust point? That is where the nipple of that person is. And you can see that this is 9.5. Can you see it? 9.5. So you just write that as nipple point, then you write 9.5. Then I still maintain this starting point, and I move down to the underbust. Some people don't understand what this underbust is. Underbust means under the bust, under the breast, and your tape rule must touch the tip of the bra your client is wearing. So you can see when I bring this one very close to the tip of her bra, then I have 12.5 here. You can see it. Can you see very well? That is 12.5. Then I still maintain my starting point. I've not removed my tape rule. Then I proceed to the half length. Now, half length is not measured on the navel. Though navel is the half of the body, but to get a good fitting, you don't measure your half length at that point. You raise it up a little, either about 5 inches up or 1 inch above the navel. So for my clients here, I want to take a half length to be 16. Then I proceed to my blouse length. You can still see that I've not removed my tape rule here. I still maintain it like this. I held it so that it will not, I'm holding it so that it will not remove. Then I proceed to the blouse length, and that is the upper part of the hip So I can say that our blouse length is 21. But some people prefer a long blouse. You just make sure that you ask questions from your client so that you know where she wants her blouse to be. Then I proceed to what is called the gown length, the short gown length. For example, now I may ask her, are you okay with this length? If she said no, I should like to go down, then I can go down. If she said she wants it to be shorter, then I bring it to her taste. But for what I have here, this is 37.5. Can you see 37.5? Then I will write 37.5 in my record and I proceed again. Then there's what we call the full length. That is the full gown length. You can see this one that I measured down. It is not constant. It is not the same in every other length. Excuse me. Some people don't like long dress anyway, so you just ask question, are you okay with this length? But let me assume that she wear is 34, and if she wants it to be longer than that because of the high heel, I can add to it. But look at my client. You can see that she's not bending, because when your client is bending, you will not get the accurate measurement. When you are taking your measurement, straight measurement, make sure that your client is not bending or looking down at all. So I'm done with the gown length. Now I want to start with the horizontal measurement. Horizontal measurements are measurements that are taken by bending your tape rule. That is, your tape rule will not be straight, but it will be in this form. You can also call it the circumference of the body or the round body. Now I want to take the shoulder measurement. You can also call it back. So measure the shoulder. There's what we call shoulder bone or shoulder cap. There's a bone around the shoulder here. You can locate it gently on your client so that you now start pressing her body, and some clients can get offended though, so you just use tight to use your finger to check it, and this is where my client's bone is. So I now bring my tape rule to the tip A and to the other bone at the other side. So what I have here is 15. So you don't measure beyond that place or before the place, so that you will not get issue, especially when the cloth is not having plating or whatever. All right, the next thing I want to do now is I want to proceed to skirt length. The skirt length. Now this is very, very important in skirt measurement taking. We have different places, way of placing our skirt, especially we ladies. Some place their skirt above the navel, some prefer it up on the navel directly, while some place their own below the waist. Now each length affects the other length. If this person loves to place a skirt here, and I don't bother to ask any question, I just measure her below the length. You can see now I measure her below the waist, and what I'm having for skirt length is 20. If by the time I finish making the garment and she wants to wear it and she bring her skirt to the waistline, you know what will happen? This is supposed to be 22 initially. The skirt will become short and it will affect the hip. So the first question I ask or my client, where do you place your skirt? So now let's assume that she tell me she prefer this place, that is the navel. Then I'll bring my tape rule to the navel side. Then I'll start taking our skirt length. So our skirt length in here is 22.5. Then I can take a 3/4 if it's necessary, and that is 29. Then this long skirt, which is 40. As I said earlier, that 40 is not the same in everybody. Some prefer their own longer than that, while some prefer their own shorter. Just make sure that you ask questions politely to know the taste of your client. So that is that about it. The next thing I want to measure now is I want to measure what is called the tight. And I don't know I'm going to achieve that, because if you are making trouser, you have to bring your and my client is not wearing trouser today, so I may have to teach you that one later. But you will bring your tape rule very close to this place. You make sure that this thing is touching something like our pants and panty. Sorry. Assuming the client is wearing skirt like this, gown like this, you have to roll up the roll up the skirt. But I know she wouldn't want us to do that here because we are online. But you have to roll it up. But make sure that this staple is closer to this side so that then you now bring it up here, to get a tie. Then you can now measure a nail, a round nail. Then when she's measuring her round nail, she must not straighten her leg like this. She must bend her knee. Please bend like this. She must bend her knee like that. Why? So that if she wants to sit down with the trouser or she wants to climb something, it will not be too tight. So I must ensure that there's a kind of freedom of movement around the knee. So you can see what I have here. I have 15. I have 15 here. So another thing is that I want to measure, please remove your shoe, I'm sorry. Okay, I want to measure the ankle. You don't measure the ankle like this, it will be very wrong, as in wrong, because the trouser will not be able to go in or come out. So you bring the tape rule close to the heel like this, then you measure it like this. Can you see? Look at this place very well. So this is where you bring your tape rule to, then you now move it around so that it's able to have a free movement when you are wearing and when you are removing it. So that is that about that. So the next thing I want to do is I want to measure our waist. Sorry, I want to start with a bust measurement or bust circumference. And when I'm measuring, look at what I'm doing. I bring it like this, and I make sure that at least there's a finger, this middle finger, inside the tape rule. You don't measure like this. No, you bring your hand, one of your finger inside the tape rule. You can see what I'm doing now. Then I will move my tape rule around to make sure that it's not too tight. Don't measure like this. As that we press down the bust, or can you see it's not going again? So sorry, madam, that I'm pressing too much. All right, so this is too tight for her, so I can now release my tape rule to make sure that she has a free measurement. Don't measure like this though, because if somebody that wants a very smart dress, automatically this is wrong. Can you see? The freedom is too much. All right, let's proceed to the waist measurement. We have two types of measurement around here. The first one is upper measurement. It's always different in some clients. This place and this place is always different, and some it's always equal. But I will advise that you measure both. Now, for our waist here, it is 28. Can you see my finger is still inside the tape rule? So this is our under bust waist. That's under bust waist. So I now bring it down to a normal waist here. Can you see? Can you see what I'm trying to say now? This place, I measure, look at what I measure here. I measure 28 here. But when I get to the lower waist, can you see what I'm having? It's too loose for her. So I have to bring it to 27. That's what I'm trying to say. But some client, excuse me, it can be the same. Now I want to measure a skirt waist. And don't forget, when I wanted to measure the length, I asked her the question, where do you want your skirt to start from? So where you started the measurement of the skirt, that is where you must start the measurement of the waist. So I measure a skirt length here, so I must measure a skirt waist on that same place. So this is a skirt waist, that is 28. You can still see I maintain my finger inside the table. Don't forget that, it's very important. Now let's proceed to the hip. Let's proceed to the hip. Then this is the hip. Some people measure hip like this and they say they are okay. Wow. By the time the person wants to wear the clothes, it's not just enter. So you don't stop here. You make sure that you run the tape rule up and down. You can see that it's no longer moving. Can you see? So I have to release my hand again from this place. Then I will now try to run it up and down. So as I'm running it up, it's smart, but it can still move. So you keep running your hand, you keep losing your tape rule until you achieve a free measurement that will enhance smartness and at the same time be comfortable for your client to wear. So I have 36 now as the hip. You can see I'm bringing it to this place and not up here. So that is what I have around the hip. I believe you are getting it. Okay, we are almost done now. I want to measure the sleeve length. It's still part of the vertical measurement because the tape is going to be straight. I was supposed to measure that earlier on, but maybe I forgot, so pardon me for that. Okay, now where I measure the back the other time, the shoulder, that is on that bone, I will bring my tape rule to the place and then measure the necessary. Then you ask questions. We have some people that don't wear short sleeve. So if she decides that she wears short sleeve, I can measure her as 6, can measure her as 10, and I can measure her as maybe the 3/4 as 16 and the elbow as 22. But majorly, our sleeve is divided into 3 parts. We have the bicep, which is the fattest part of the sleeve. This is the bicep around here. Then this is the elbow, and this is the wrist. So I want to measure our round sleeve now. Round sleeve, which is the bicep, and I have here 12 inches. You can see I'm not measuring very tight like this. If you measure like this, the clothes will not be okay, and the person will not be able to there will not be good blood circulation. So you allow a kind of freedom around the wrist, around the bicep, so that the person can move her hand freely. So I have 12 here for her round sleeve. Then I come to the elbow. So when I'm measuring the elbow, just like the knee that she has to bend, then I ask her to bend her sleeve like this too. Her elbow like this, and I bring my tape to this place. So I have 11 inches. So by the time I bring it here, you can see that this place is free. Then I come to the wrist here. I don't measure like this. I will not measure the wrist like this. It's very wrong. I must allow something, to be at the not too close to the wrist. So this is what I have now. All right. So that is what we have about the body measurement. The last thing I remember I'm supposed to take is, though this place I don't normally take it, but you can take it if you're a beginner. There's a way you just calculate that. You measure nipple to nipple. It is also called bust pan. Bust pan. Bust pan, but it's called nipple to nipple in layman language. So that is where the nipple of your client is. Be careful that you don't touch the person too much anyway. Then you bring it to the other nipple. So I have 7 here as my nipple to nipple measurement. So you can see that taking body measurement is very simple, as in very simple. So I will just encourage you, if you have tape, please quickly go and look for someone around you, either a sister, a daughter, or whoever, or your mom, or anybody, and just make sure that you do the measurement now and see whether you have already mastered the art of taking body measurement. Once again, it is very simple. It's me again, Goddess Rehoboth. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please, if you find it useful and helpful, please make sure that you click the like button and remember to give it a thumbs up. All right, till next time, bye.